Hey, everybody. Welcome to tonight's event. I'm so excited to introduce you to my new friend, Holly. Holly is the founder of Broccoli Boxes. So if you have been watching my Vlogmas series, I talked about this recently about Broccoli Boxes. They are these amazing sensory boxes that have all different kinds of pieces in there. It comes with a fantastic book. My kids are obsessed. All three of them are obsessed with this thing. They've been playing with it ever since it got delivered, like a week ago. Just obsessed. My daughter was carrying around like her little Play-Doh snowman for like a week. Wanted to sleep with it in bed and everything, like upset. And I Play-Doh everywhere. I'm like, whatever, this is the best thing ever. I love it. So if you are just joining us, make sure that you click the StreamYard link so your name will pop up instead of just Facebook user. We will actually be able to comment back and say hi to you. So definitely just tell us who you are, who's joining us. We have someone on. So if you're commenting, if you haven't clicked the StreamYard link, just leave your name so we can say hi to you. But yeah, so I'm going to introduce you to Holly. Holly has been in business for 2 full months today. Fantastic, guys. That's how quick it can happen. She has got booming business over there. She's doing fantastic. I can't wait for you guys to hear from her. So, Holly, just tell us a little bit about your personal life and like what got you started. What made you want to do this?
So a little bit about me. I taught for 9 years in elementary classroom. And then in 2019, I left the classroom because my husband was trying to start a business. And so I was going to be helping him. And we had a 3-year-old little boy. So I was going to be able to be with him a little bit more. Then in 2020, in the middle of all of this stuff, my sister and I were talking one day, and we were just talking about what we wished was available for busy moms with young kids. And I told her, I said, you need to go into business. You need to do this. And she laughed at me and said, no, you do it. And so here I am 2 months later.
Love it.
But I know I really had to think about like, is this owning your own business is a lot of work. So I really had to think about like, is this something that I'm dedicated to? Is my why important enough to go through with this? So
that's awesome. So it just happened one night. You guys are just chit-chatting like normal. And then, that's like the story, right? Someone else is like, no, you do it. And you're like, okay, fine, I will. And now here you are. Like, look at everything you've done. So you never dreamed about really owning a business before. It kind of just happened.
It did. Looking back on it and looking at my life experiences, I can see how it all kind of fits together to bring me here. The time with my husband starting his own business helped give me some insight into owning a business, the behind the scenes aspects of it, and then my educational background, having a young child of my own. So all of those pieces kind of came together to help make this work.
Nice. So now let me ask you, did you ever have any kind of entrepreneurial like adventures as a kid, like lemonade stand, selling Girl Scout cookies, anything that like you had any kind of experience before?
When I was probably less than I was younger than 6th grade. My sister and I cleaned out our garage and turned it into a skating rink that we charged the local kids to come and
Yes.
around our garage. And then we had snacks and things that they could get.
I love it. I love asking, and I wish I've asked more people this question now because I do a lot of, self-development and learning from people. And there's this guy, Gary V, and if you listen to him, you have to be careful because he uses a lot of cuss words, but he tells you like it is, and I love it. And I recently heard him say, everyone that has a business has that like nugget from their past, and they don't really realize that could have like started it all. So I started thinking back to my own personal life, and I have a very similar experience. So you had it in you, like it's in your blood already, and it's not something that, like, even though it seems so sudden now, back then you were already thinking like an entrepreneur, like, hey, how can I make money off of my friends and bring them in here? But you're offering them a service. It's not like you're stealing, right? You're offering them a legit service.
Right. I mean, a skating rink.
Right? You got business, I'm assuming.
We did.
Yeah.
And it worked out. Actually, both my husband's family and my family have entrepreneurial backgrounds. My mom owned her own business. My dad owned his. My grandfather owned his. So it's one of those things, again, where it was never a desire. But as I look back, the foundation was there.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. And then, like you said, you didn't even know. I have to tell you, one of the things that caught me about you when I was reading about broccoli boxes to begin with, you said in like your description of, hey, this is a busy box that you can either do with your kids or it's like safe enough for them to do it without you. And I was like, yes, that is what I need, because as a busy mom of 3 kids, I get home and I'm trying to clean up their stuff and get their homework out for later and get dinner ready and all this stuff. And they just want to go on their iPad. And I'm like, no, like, let's not do iPads right away. Like, let's talk to each other and interact. And so when the broccoli box came, I was able to just open it for them and we looked at it all. It was awesome. And like, as much as I wanted to sit, they didn't even want me there. They're like, yeah, no, mom, it's okay. You go make dinner. Like, we're going to figure this out. We want to surprise you with what we're going to make. And I was like, okay, cool. And they were there for like over an hour on their own. It was like, and I didn't even tell them it was coming in the mail. So I think it was even more of a surprise that they were like, what is this? I want to see. Like, awesome. Pure gold you've come up with.
That's exciting.
Yeah. So now tell us a little bit about like what you have right now going. Like, we got a winter box. I'm actually going to go grab it too, because I want people to see what it looks like. You do too? Okay, cool. Show me what you got.
So the winter box kind of looks like this.
Yes.
They all come with like the trifold that has some basic play ideas.
And yes, I love that.
And then on my blog, you can find more in-depth ideas. And there's a book. Every kit comes with a book, no matter what. It's not an add-on. It's not an additional $10. You're getting a book.
And that was one thing that I didn't read up on my own. I was like, oh, I wonder if it's going to come with the book. And then it did. And I was like, yes, that's awesome.
As an educator, I know the importance of read alouds. Mm-hmm. And that was a non-negotiable. It needs to put books in families' hands.
Yeah. I mean, look at the cookie cutters, guys, that it comes with. They were like, they were obsessed. And I liked that it was really versatile for all ages, because for me, I have a 6-year-old, 4-year-old, and a 1.5-year-old. There's cotton balls. There's pipe cleaners and little beads. I'm like, I watched him with this stuff, but he was able to interact with them.
There's enough of a variety that if there are young kids, this kit has beads in it. Take those beads.
Yes.
But the older kids
love it.
Have it. The winter box has like noses for your snowman, different types of hats that you can put on your little snowman that you make. So, and then all the Play-Doh, this is a Play-Doh kit. All the Play-Doh is scented and homemade, non-toxic, all that kind of good stuff, colored with food coloring.
And do you make the Play-Doh yourself?
I make the Play-Doh myself. And then so just lots of little knickknacks and things. And if you subscribe, it won't be Play-Doh every single month. So that way there's variety in what your kids are getting, because doing the same thing every time can get old for kids, even if it's awesome.
But I mean, the value too of it, like coming in a package and it's a special delivery, and like that's like exciting for kids that they get a package in the mail. And
this is the first time anyone is seeing the January box.
Oh, let's see this January box.
There are a couple of things in here that I'm not going to show quite yet, but it's space themed. So it comes with this adorable book about these animals who are trying to say like, oh, I think this moon is this shape. And then they go and figure out what shape the moon is. And it talks about the different phases. So this is a rice kit. So it's going to come with rice, black rice for you.
I've never seen black rice before.
It's been dyed.
What? Did you do it?
I did.
No way.
Yes. It comes with 2 little sterling silver cups. These are food grade if you wanted to repurpose them later. And we have an option now where you can get it engraved with your child's name.
Oh my gosh, so cute.
So this one has my little boy's name. And then your bag of goodies. And of course it comes with the box. So there's a scoop, There's various different astronauts, poof balls, glow in the dark stars, some little trinkets to play with, space rocks, and then the solar system.
Oh my gosh, so cool.
So there's the sun and then all the different planets. So these are all wood pieces. So
Nice. Now, will it come in a bag like that, or will it be a box like this?
this particular one, we have options where you can get it without the bag or without the box. So I know some families maybe already have black rice or already have Play-Doh or whatever it is, or they don't want the box. And so we do have a kit that you can get it with just the fun toys.
Yeah.
Toys. But then the main one is
like that. Okay, awesome. Yeah, I mean, I understand that. That's awesome that you offer both versions because, you know, if you do get a subscription, you might not want a box every time because then that can stack up. Like me, I'm like a hoarder. I would be like, yeah, box. But some people would be like, no, no more boxes. Like I can just refill this one. So that's an option. That's awesome.
I will say I love the boxes because they're great. They store, put it away.
Yes.
And they make great for travel. Like,
yes,
you can really use it in the car, but we've gone camping a couple of times and it's like, what am I going to bring? Oh, bring a box. We're ready.
Yeah, that's perfect. See, me too. I would think like just throw the box in the car and you're good to go. You don't have to worry about it. I love that so much.
17 different toys on this trip. I got it.
Yeah. So now you have a website. The broccoli box. Okay. Oh, yeah. Actually, let me pop it up here. We got it ready. Broccoliboxes.com. So if anyone was interested, they could go to your website and you have like, well, at least right now you have a box that you could just buy solid or you can sign up for a subscription.
Yes, we have.
And is it once a month or how often?
We've got a different setting. So you can do the once a month box or you can do a quarterly box. That one you have to pay up front, but you're getting you're getting a box every 3 months. So quarterly. Yeah. And that way it kind of slows it down. Sometimes once a month is too much. And I understand that.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. So this is great. So you've really kind of thrown yourself into it. It's been 2 months. The holiday season is perfect for this. Now, like what kind of advice could you offer to somebody right now that's kind of just like lingering in that? Like imagine you back with your sister having that first conversation, like, hey, like we should really do this. Ha ha ha. But like what made you have that initial, like, no, I'm going to do this. Like, I'm going to do it.
I think you've got to start with your why. And it's not just the what. It's not the what am I going to do? That was my sensory kits. But the why are you doing the sensory kits?
Yes.
And it's got to be something that's important enough to you that you're willing to put in the late nights, the long hours, the financial upfront that it does take. Mm-hmm. And for me, my why was I wanted to build relationships and inspire creativity so that families and communities were strengthened. So I feel like the boxes help siblings connect. It can help mom connect. She's not yelling at the kids because they're in the way and under her feet again. Mm-hmm. The read alouds has that bonding effect as well. But yet I also donate boxes. For every 10 boxes that are sold, I donate one to children in foster care. So that's strengthening our community piece, but also those families as those kids are needing to bond with their new families in that time. And then another piece for the communities is I use eco-friendly packaging whenever possible. So the plastic bags, cups, the tissue paper, everything that I use is eco-friendly. And that's another way that I'm trying to strengthen the community as a whole by not adding more trash. So really starting with the why.
Yes, absolutely. 100% I agree. Like, and that you're taking all those things into consideration is huge. Like that is so awesome because not everybody does that. But yeah, I mean, the why is really the first thing that has to get started because I think that everyone thinks of ideas, right? And like, this is a great idea. I'm going to do this. And if you just get started and you're all like money driven, it's going to burn out real fast.
Yes.
You really do have to find that why, like, okay, this is great. And of course you want to be successful, but like, why are you initially doing this? And how are you going to reach your audience? What's that pain point? And for moms, it's like, oh, I love my kids, but I just need to get this done. So can you do this? Or, hey, it's family game night. Like, let's sit down and do the broccoli box. And I love that. I was actually thinking like this could be a great classroom material for teachers for, like preschool when they have centers. It's like, hey, well, this is today's center. Like, I know right now with times it's a little bit different with sanitizing, but like I can see it in the classroom as like, hey, we're getting a quarterly broccoli box to our daycare, and like this is what we're doing. Like, that's fantastic.
That's an awesome idea.
Right? Like, here you go. Go call your local like kinder cares or little sprouts, whatever you got around you. And yeah, be like, hey, I have this offer. Like, I think that's a fantastic idea. I did daycare for years, if you can't tell. I just see that. Like, my daughter, her favorite thing at school, she's in kindergarten now, but her favorite thing is centers. And like I could totally see that at a table with like 3 or 4 kids interacting, building on like you get the book. Yeah, you get the book to go with it. Like, I love it so much. Now, I know you told me your son came up with the name. Is there any like behind the reason why? Like, does he just love broccoli? Did it just come out of his mouth? Like,
he hates broccoli.
I love it even more.
We were going back and forth for a week or so of trying out different names and sensory time and all these different names. And I was like, buddy, what do you think we should call it? And he said, broccoli. Said, okay. And I kept coming back to him thinking, okay, that'll leave and eventually something new will pop up. Mm-hmm. And he just kept saying broccoli. And I was like, I don't know about that. That's going to be a hard sell.
Yeah.
And so at dinner one night, I was telling my husband, Aaron, what am I going to name this? I got to come up with a name. And he said, I thought you already named it broccoli boxes. And I went, all right.
Right? Like, there you go. You nodded earlier when I said Gary V. So do you know who Gary V is? Yeah. It's funny because last night I was listening to him. Whenever I'm like crafting, I just listen to other things, multitasking, right? You got to. And he talks about how people will spend like months and weeks on like the name of their business. And he's like, no one gives a F about the name, because really broccoli boxes, I was just like, yeah, cool. That's a great name. It's a sensory box, of course. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes that's another thing I think this would be great for this group to hear is like, it's really not important what the name is. You just pick something and go with it, because no one's going to criticize you and be like, Holly, why did you name it broccoli boxes? It's not a broccoli. It has nothing to do with broccoli. Like, no one's going to say that. No one cares. But it's a great, like, it's catchy now, right? Because you get the double B's and like.
It went right in with like, made it easier to create a logo. It actually worked really well. And
it's like kid-driven almost, like.
A neat piece is I'm hearing from moms that their kids will ask for the broccoli. And their moms know they're not meaning the green thing.
Yeah. But they're asking for broccoli in some way, shape, or form. So it's good. See, my kids are the opposite. They love broccoli. So when I was like, the broccoli box is here, they're like, you got a box of broccoli? And I was like, no. No. But they were excited nonetheless, of course.
Well, that's awesome that your kids like broccoli.
My kids are obsessed with fruit, like fruit, vegetables, like they eat. My daughter is actually, it's funny, she's obsessed with carrots. Like everything is about carrots. She names her stuffed animals that. She has an imaginary friend named Carrot. We're writing a book right now. What is it? Captain Carrot? Like, I don't know. You just got to let them go with their creativity, right? Yep. I love it. I was saying, you never know. Like, we'll be selling a book on Amazon soon about Captain Broccoli. I mean, like I said, Captain Broccoli, Captain Carrots. Oh my gosh, awesome. But this is good because this group is really all about like, yes, we're promoting your broccoli box and how wonderful it is, but it's also about, women. Look at 2 months ago, like this wasn't even like a thought in your head. And here you are, you're selling broccoli boxes, you're building your community together, you're using eco-friendly packaging, you're meeting new moms, like.
And I love that part.
Across the country. Like, we would have never met otherwise, right? Like, how crazy is that? And it's only because we're in the same group together.
Very cool. It's opening up a lot of opportunities, and it's helping me. I can easily go very introvert, and this is helping me as well. In that way. That's fun. I'm enjoying meeting so many different people from so many different
That's
places.
great. Well, and that's why I wanted to have this group and like have this platform for people. Like, I listen to, I don't know if you know who Michelle Cunningham is, but yeah, she's someone in the world that's kind of, she just tested me and she was like, hey, you just got to go live. And I was like, what do you know? I'm not even an introvert, but I was like, I'm not going live. Like, what are you talking about? She's like, go on Facebook Live for 14 days. And I'm like, ah. So then when I started this whole group and I said, I'm going to give moms a platform, like, I'm just going to own my awesome. I'm going to go on there and be like, hey, I want to interview you. And people are like, really? Me? Are you sure me? I'm like, yep, let's go on. Let's do it. Just kind of like you, right? I'm like, nope, we got it, girl. Just go on, just do it. And like, you just got to push yourself forward. But now I'm giving you a platform to be like, hey, Holly, tell me all about your stuff. And then someone's going to see you and hear you and either get inspiration from you or buy a product from you. So it's like a win-win situation here.
This is an amazing technology can do such amazing things with connecting people, which is really cool.
Absolutely. It's something that like no one would have ever thought before. Like we're sitting here talking from, what state are you in?
I'm in Florida.
Florida. And I'm in Massachusetts. Like, what's happening right now? We've never met in real life, but like the online world can do so much for you. And I think there's so many people out there that just don't realize that there's so many connections you can be out there making, and there's so many people you can be out there talking to, and there's platforms out there, and you just gotta self-promote and get yourself out there and keep the inspiration going. And I can't wait to see where you are in the next 2 months. I can't wait. Like, how awesome.
It's so easy to get stuck in the negative, and by getting out there, finding other positive, like-minded and different-minded, ideas, but finding more positivity, realizing that is still out there.
For sure. Like I love even like ending on that, right? Positivity, because it is so easy to get sucked in how much things are like horrible right now and awful. You just can't even deal with that. You've got to stay positive. You got to find your people. You got to find your group. And that's what I want the group to be about, is just strictly like positive vibes. How can we help each other? Don't bring each other down. Like there's so much greatness out there. We don't need to focus on that negative stuff. Like, no place for it here. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. So my last question for you, if I could ask you anything to someone that is, in your beginning spot, that was like, they're kind of thinking about, I want to start something, but I just don't know what to do. Like, what would be your one piece of advice for them?
Again, I would really, it might even be watching Simon Sinek's Start With Why. It's a TED Talk. He also has a book, short, 14 minutes, but just getting back to that, money cannot be the focus. If that is your focus, you're going to repel clients or customers. You're going to burn out. That can't be the focus. There's got to be a bigger reason than that. And he really walks through that process of looking inside and trying to figure out your why. And he then takes you from, okay, here's your why. Now, how are you going to do that? And now what is going to do that?
I love it. That's awesome. I never actually heard of him, so I can't wait to go check him out later tonight. But it sounds a lot like I just always teacher mode, right? I always stick to the WH questions. Right. Who is your audience? What, when, where, why, how, like all of that really. But yeah, the money thing is like the last thing you should be worrying about. It's like, what is your focus? Why are you doing it? Yeah, that's awesome. It's great advice. I love it. So guys, let me check the comments really quick. If you're watching this on a replay, definitely put hashtag replay. And if you have a comment that you come back later to because you're watching it on a replay, just put it down there. Holly and I will reach out to you. We'll still see it in the group. So feel free to ask anything. But yeah, awesome. Love it. Let me see. Okay, cool. No questions as of right now. So yeah, if you guys are interested in Holly's sensory boxes for kids, broccoliboxes.com. What age range would you say is a great age range for you that you're focusing on?
3 to 8.
3 to 8.
There are some small parts, so under 3, you really got to keep mom nearby. Take some things out. So definitely putting that choking war hazard in there.
Yeah.
But 3 to 8.
Awesome. I love it. I can't wait to see how many more people get your broccoli boxes and we can rave about it, talk about it. I love it. And again, I can't wait to hear what great things you're doing in 2 months. Like, guys, 2 months. Look where she is. She's on an interview right now in a group talking about her business. Like, fantastic.
Definitely.
I love it.
Coming.
I love it. I love that we can get you out here and get a platform going for you.
Thank you so much for having me on, and I enjoy being in your group.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being on. I really appreciate your time. I'm so glad you were able to join us tonight. And yeah, we'll check in again in 2 months, see where you're at. Keep going with the positive vibes in the group. I love, shout out all your stuff and your ideas. They need to hear it.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, guys, we're going to sign off for now. But again, hashtag replay if you're watching this on a replay, and leave any comments and we'll get back to you. Thank you so much, Holly.